What's happening there is in our national security interest, and here's why. You see these images? You see these children? Imagine if you are that father and that is your child who has just been gassed to death by a regime. You will never, ever accept that regime as your rightful leader. And you are full of hatred and you are full of vengeance for what they have done to you and to your family. Put yourself in that position. And that person, many of them, are going to end up joining whichever organization in Syria has the guns and the money to fight Assad. That's what they're going to end up joining up with. And tragically, the groups on the ground, oftentimes in Syria with the most guns and the most money to fight Assad, are increasingly radical jihadist groups. There are many members of these radical jihadist groups that, quite frankly, aren't even jihadists, or at least weren't. But they joined because they're the only people they know that are fighting Assad, and they want to get him. They want to get him back for what he did to their child, what he did to their family. That's why Assad must go. As long as Bashar al-Assad is in Syria, there will be radical elements in Syria, not just fighting to get rid of him, but fighting ultimately to spread that ideology to other places. That's why it's in our national security interest. If you are a country led by Vladimir Putin like Russia is, who is going before the world and saying this was the rebels, this wasn't the regime, that's absurd. That is fake news at its highest. It's grotesque. That they could say it with a straight face is even more troubling. This would never have been possible had they not had the cover that Vladimir Putin has given Assad. And it leads to this question. Anyone who supports Bashar al-Assad in doing these sorts of things and tries to cover for him on the international stage and actually votes at international organisms to protect him from sanction, they are at a minimum accomplices in war crimes, which is why I reiterate my belief that Vladimir Putin is a war criminal who is assisting another war criminal in killing his own people and gassing innocents.